You may be thinking cognitive fatilizitzation is not a word, but it is a word because I just made it up. Okay, it means bread or something. I'm still working on that. Okay, but it's a word. Corgnative fatilizitzation. Fatilizitzation. Yeah. Let's get right into it. Right now. Gonna play some Togarita. Cause I'm broke. Okay. Here we go. Okay, so agenda here. What was my thing that I wanted to do here? Let me hit this button here. I did not make it far. Okay, so I need to get across the world. That's kind of the goal right now, is to explore the world. It's starting that time, so I'm going to get my ass kicked. So I think I should go underground before I do that. I got some stuff to talk about today, man. You know, it's been a fucked up day, man. You know what I'm saying? My little podcast. Do you like my little podcast? Sometimes I do. Sometimes I use the touch controls because they're equally as good. Oh my god. Okay, I'm done. Now. Alright, I'm just checking the stats. Hey, don't be like, I'm sorry, I have to leave. I'm sorry, I have to leave a video. Like, brother. Get the fuck up! Okay. Now. Here we go. I'm so sorry. Oh my god! I thought there was water there. So there wasn't. There wasn't water there. I just died. Trying to go down to get some new life. Okay, so let's get it done here. Get her done. Now Larry the Cable Guy. Get her done. That was like his whole thing. When I was a kid, I thought that was fucking hilarious. But now I listen to it, I'm just like, ah, oh yeah. Huh, why is it not funny anymore? That's just weird, you know. It's not, I'm not saying his stuff is just weird, I'm just saying, like, it's weird how I don't think it's funny anymore, you know. It's like, I used to think 3 words was so funny, but now, get her done. Get her done. Dude, literally, like, if I could make, like, $1 billion just for saying, get her done. Get her done. Get her done, fellas. Get her done. You know, just like wear a pair of fucking overalls and like a fucking flannel. You know, with some boots. Like literally, get her done. Could stand on a stage and just say that. Just get her done. And all the sheep would believe it. And they'd be like, oh my god. I've never thought of that before. You know, because the Dornoch Keebler is a master manipulator, okay? You don't understand the key to reality, okay? The Dornoch Keebler is the key to reality. Because I have all the answers, okay? I've been to the 4th dimension. Let me tell you, I have it pretty good right here, you know? I have it pretty good right here. 4th dimension is sick, though. You never get to see it because I saw it. It's pretty dope. Except, you know, it depends on, well, this is wonderful. This is wonderful. Yeah. And, what do you define as the 4th dimension? The cognitive 4th dimension is where I've been. You know. And it's noisy and crazy. You know, there's multiple ways of getting there. You can either skip straight to the point, or you can fucking just meditate or some shit. I don't know. I've never done that. People say it works out, but the thing is, the fourth dimension doesn't always have to be a crazy fucking concept, you know? If you're talking about a philosophical fourth dimension, you know, then you can kind of just say whatever you want because, you know, imagination, you know, it's pretty fun, but, you know. Okay, so I guess this is kind of going to be a weird topic to bring up, but I'm going to do it anyways, just because it's interesting, for sure. So when I took acid, okay, it doesn't have all the, like, answers to the universe, you know what I mean? It's not the thing that helps you understand the universe, you know? You'll want to go in with some prior knowledge, you know, so you can really just observe, like, fuck, what is happening when you go in to the experience, you know? It's more so about observing what's happening than it is about, you know, fucking getting up and going places and thinking about, well, I don't know. I wasn't, when I did it, I wasn't thinking at all. It was all visual. And when I tried to think, I was spitting nonsense, you know? And, you know, it was just not, you know, it wasn't like I was like, blah, 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 but, you know, I wasn't speaking logically. I was speaking like I had, like, half my IQ. So I was just like, you know, I'm always ahead of the other guy when I'm arguing on the internet. You know, I like to mock myself sometimes, but it was pretty interesting, though. You know, for the time being, you know, it is a very interesting experience. You know, I don't recommend it. You know, because once a pickle, always a pickle. You know what I mean? And you can never go back. But, well, yeah, no, you can get a better life, but you can never go back, you know? You can never not feel it. You can never not feel like what it felt. You know, you can never give up the desire to do it again. And, you know, it was just so crazy, you know? Like, obviously, it's just a bunch of swirling colors and stuff, but, you know, you really see patterns and shit. Like, when you look at shit, it's just, you automatically see a pattern, like the first thing. You know, the first thing you notice about anything you look at is a pattern within it. And it's like, you know, you notice the pattern before you notice what you're looking at. You know what I mean? It's crazy. You know, and all the colors are swirling and stuff, and like, the texture of everything is swirling, like everything's an AI image, you know? Like how it kind of, like, swirls and distorts details. Or like in the early days of AI, where everything looked noisy and messy and swirly. It looks exactly like that when you try and look at the closer details of things. And, you know, enough about what it looked like. You know, what it felt like, I felt like I was sweating, but I actually wasn't sweating. You know, it was a very weird and uncomfortable feeling that could easily be mistaken for something you need to worry about. And, you know, the key is just not to worry. You know, even if you feel like you're dying, you know, you just relax under any circumstance. You don't go into panic. You know, you sit there and you relax. No matter how bad it hurts, you know, no matter what you're going through inside of your head, you just sit there and you relax. Because if you panic, it's going to make everything worse. I had a really good time, you know. Obviously, I could have had a bad time. I took way more than I was ready for. But, you know, it taught me a lot, you know. The come up, you know, I'd already been taking shrooms a little bit before, so I kind of knew a little bit about getting myself into, you know. And I gotta say, there is a similarity between the feelings, but it's not like, you know, it's not a similar experience at all. Like, acids is visual, whereas shrooms is all in your head. The only similarity I would say is the body feeling, but, you know, even then, you know, you just have to be having a normal flow. It can feel like whatever. I just felt like I was sweating when I wasn't sweating. You know, I really didn't think about anything. I was just so enthused with what I was seeing, I didn't think at all. I was just seeing. And I made some art, You know, color was my thing. Just the vibe, you know. Fucking with colors and just sitting there and watching the world, the otherworldly. It was crazy, you know. Before I knew it was over, you know. And a lot of people will say, you know, acid is this ancient, spiritual, whatever the fuck. It's not. It's just a party drug, you know. Just take it to fucking experience a really good time. But, you know, it's a really good time for people who like drugs, you know, which is not a good time for some people, you know. And, you know, it's just, like all drugs, it's just another high, you know. But it's from my experience, you know, I found it quite fun. But that's because I do drugs. I'm a pickle, you know what I mean? Fuck! Bitch, fuck off. Fuck this stupid ass bird. Bitch. Bring it. Yeah. I thought, buddy. Just gotta kill this guy. He's really gonna hurt me if I try to go. I gotta do this before Vulture comes. Oh, motherfucker. Come at me, bitch. Think you got a chance? Oh, fuck. Oh, no, I do not need a flying fish right now, dude. Oh, my God. But no. Shrooms is the one where I really was thinking. When I was on shrooms, so when I bought it, you know, I bought it from somebody, and I thought the number I had was, you know, that somebody. But turns out that somebody switched phones. So it was just a completely random person, and I was texting them, hey, do you have the shrooms? I got $20, you know, and, you know, I can buy them now. And they were like, no, I do not. And I was like, oh, boy. Uh-oh. So I was like, just please forget about this if you can, you know, because, you know, I'm sorry, my condolences, you know, and then I just ended that right there, you know. But during the experience, I had a really good time. I almost had a bad trip, so I had to call my friend Aaron. And he just told me to get a notebook. And, you know, even to this day, I still carry a notebook around because of how much that did for me, you know. It just, all you need is a notebook just to jot down your thoughts, or at least in my experience. Everybody's experience is different, you know. But for my experience, I really needed a notebook because there was so much happening in my head, you know, just thinking, you know, writing down in my notebook, thinking I was talking to my dog, you know. You know, but I obviously had that feeling of doubt, like, oh, this is just, you know, and reasonably so, because I was just thinking like I was on mushrooms, you know, I was on a drug, so obviously I'm going to think some ridiculous things, you know. I thought, like, and then I started thinking about how mushrooms were God, you know, I thought the mushrooms themselves were God, and, you know, it was a pretty dumb little thing, you know, because that's, you know, mushrooms are great and all, but, you know, I don't know, I'm more of a, you know, sciencey guy, but, you know, obviously, you know, I'm not, like, fucking smart in science, but, you know, I dabble, you know, it's interesting, I like facts, they're cool, I like collecting facts, but, you know, it's cool to know stuff, just know, like, oh, hey, did you know this is this, you know, it's pretty cool, but, you know, it was really just an experience of, like, utter delusion. You think like a psychopath, you know, like a, you know, like a very calm and relaxed psychopath. You know what I mean? Or if you're having a bad time, I don't even really know, to be honest. Like, really depends on what kind of time you're having, but, you know. In my opinion, I was thinking, like, completely delusionally, you know, and everything was like a miracle, and everything was a spiritual miracle, you know. So mushrooms is like very spiritual and, you know, very one with nature, one with God, you know, whatever, you know. That didn't really convince me that there's a God, you know. Because it was all in my head, you know. I didn't see anything, no visuals at all, like none. You know, except for a little waviness, like, you know, kind of wrinkly vision, like you watch one of those swirly videos. You know, that was about it. You know, obviously if you take a lot more than that, it's different, but, you know, I'm just like, you know, me personally, I don't associate psychedelics with any sort of spiritual anything, you know? Like, I'm not a spiritual guy, you know? I am, you know, I'm very, you know, straight to the facts, you know? If you don't have evidence, then you got nothing to prove it, you know? If you only have word of mouth, then you don't really got much, you know? And, you know, unless you're talking about, like, a court case and there's, like, witnesses, unless everybody's lying, you know, you never really know if someone's telling the truth. Sometimes you do, you know. But, like, with spiritual experiences, I'm always doubting the legitimacy of it, you know. I'm always, you know, thinking, like, oh, this is kind of a load of ass, you know, but, you know, it's just because it doesn't make any sense, you know. To me, in my opinion, there is no magic in this world, you know. So, how can that work? I see people make the point like, oh, if God is real, then why is so much suffering in the world? I think that's completely stupid and unreasonable. That's just the dumbest reason not to believe in a God, you know? Like, existence and suffering go hand in hand, first of all, you know? That's probably like the most baby step philosophy you can even fucking, like, come up with, you know? So, yeah, that's what I think about your opinion, Neil deGrasse Tyson. But, I think, you know, if there is a God, then, you know, I don't know. Then why, or if God is associated with a religion, then why have so many people died in the name of religion, first of all? Second of all, you know, I don't know. You know, I have to do my thinking, but, you know, there's just a lot of, like, reasons I think about, you know, like, if there's a God, why this, you know? I never find myself thinking, if there's a God, why is there so much suffering in the world? Because, you know, realistically, if we're thinking about a God in a scientific world, that's not what God would be there for, you know, to fix suffering. God would be more like, you know, Spinoza's God, which I still have to look into a lot more, you know, where it's like God is kind of like nature or something, you know. God is some level of life connection, you know, some level of like a connection with life, you know. But I don't believe in, you know, and my mainline belief right now is you die and you're nothing, you know. But I do think about, like, if there were a God, here's how I think it would exist, quote, end quote, God. Because God is just kind of a word in English, I've been told. You know. But, you know, I feel like God is nature, if anything. If there is a God at all, it's nature, you know. That's my opinion, you know. And I don't believe in any religion based around God. I think, you know, in my opinion, religion has nothing to do with God, if God exists. Okay, fuck it, you know. I believe in the possibility of a God. I should just kind of say that, you know. But, you know, I don't like a religious God. I don't like an afterlife in my, you know, yeah, I don't think I need to say that anymore. I think you get it, but, you know, I don't like the idea of an afterlife because that doesn't make any sense. You know, nothing lasts forever, and, you know, for there not to be an end to the story, like, everything comes to an end, and if everything lasts forever, then that's nonsense, you know? Like, you wouldn't want to be alive forever, let me tell you. You wouldn't want to be immortal, you know? You wouldn't want to be immortal. I mean, you know, because that's not a gift, you know? That's a curse, you know? If you were immortal, hands down, in my opinion, you would be suffering constantly. You know, after a while, you'd just be constantly wishing it was over because you've been alive for so long, you know. Not because, like, the universe is gone and you're still alive, you know, because, like, you know, oh, he's dead. He is so dead. Speaking of religion. But, like, why do so many people want to be immortal after they die? Like, you know, don't you want your story to come to an end? You know, and just have it be the end, you know, and not live forever and ever and ever, you know, like, unless you could keep, you know, making existence unique for yourself, but, you know, eventually, you know, the finite world would start to be, you know, the world would start to feel finite again, and it would just become like regular life, except there is no end, you know, like, I'm not just speaking suicidally here. I'm just saying, you know, I'm speaking about experience, you know. If you were immortal, that would be really uncomfortable. You know, that's the point I'm trying to make, you know. Damn. It's expert mode, or it's master mode. This isn't really upsetting me, because I just know this happens in expert mode, but, or master mode. So, you know, why can't, you know, like, why can't life just be cool and scientific, you know? Why does everything have to be immortal, live forever, unlimited items, you know? Like, when you fucking download Hungry Shark Evolution, and you have, like, you have like, all the gems, and then you buy every shark, you know, you play it for, like, a week, okay? You play it for, like, a week, you know? You want to be done. Do the same thing with life, you know? What do you know? It sucks, you know? In life, you have a finite amount of time, and if you have unlimited time, it's gonna suck, because, you know, eventually it gets boring, you know? When people say, oh, it's heaven, it wouldn't get boring, and this is all my opinion, you know? People say, oh, it's heaven, it wouldn't be boring. It's like, dude, come on now, you know? Like, seriously? You want to be alive forever? You never, I mean, to comprehend the idea of nothing is scary, but, you know, maybe you live on to a new life, you know, that's the idea of reincarnation. That's pretty, you know, better. Which obviously isn't a bad one, you know, I think that's pretty neat. But maybe there's, like, you know, maybe reincarnation is just like a natural fucking process in the universe, and that's just kind of like, you know, like recycling of material, you know, or something. I don't fucking know, you know. Just like, you know, living a different life over and over, you know. I mean, yeah, you know. That'd be something, you know. Get all your memories erased, start a new game, you know. But obviously for some, that is like, they don't want that, you know. Some people desire non-existence because they want to break the cycle of reincarnation. That's one of the biggest things, I think. Now I'm starting to get into territory where I'm kind of like standing on unstable ground, but, you know, I think one of the things of, like, Buddhism is, like, wanting to escape that infinite cycle of reincarnation, you know. You know, you want to be nothing. You want to achieve non-existence. Non-existence is a reward, you know, that you have to, I don't know, I don't really get it how it works, honestly, but, you know, non-existence is the preferred thing in one of them, you know. But, you know, it has a bunch of, like, it has a bunch of principles based around it. Like if you have a good life or something, you know. And that's where I kind of start to be like, you know, because it just doesn't make sense. Like, who's going to keep you accountable? The universe or God? Like, seriously, you know? Like, you know, if we're speaking, you know, about science here, nobody's going to keep you accountable for that, you know? Maybe there's just a finite amount of times you can reincarnate, you know, or something. Or, you know, like, or, you know, the reason creatures create more of themselves is so that, you know, maybe we live on to our children, you know. Well, that could be a cool little thing to chew on, you know. You know, and we wouldn't even know if we did because your memory is just erased, you know. You know, we're made of our parents' biology, so, you know. As people say, everyone is unique. So, I guess that doesn't really fly, you know. Everyone is unique in their own way. You know, maybe everybody is, maybe like generationally, you know, you are your entire family, you know. You are the newest version, you know, the newest model. There's a meme I saw a while ago about that, but it's not really in the same way, but it, you know, it's not really delivered in the same way, you know, but it's pretty funny. Oh shit, I'm dead. I need rope, but I can't get past that desert. I need to get down there with platforms, and that's kind of something I've been postponing because I'm annoyed at that. It's going to be really annoying, but, you know, it's the only way I'm going to get anywhere, so. You know, I'm just so sick of thinking about death and afterlife, because it's just so, you know, it's so interesting to think about something that has no answer, yet so just annoying, you know, because everything has to become spiritual, you know, so frustrating, it makes me annoyed, you know, like, and then there's people who talk about it, the people who do know shit talk about it, except for, like, one of them, you know, Star Talk. But I'm not advocating that or anything. I'm just mentioning that it is a thing that mentions things in a basic way that anybody can understand, which I think is good. More stuff like that should exist, because I like that, you know, because it makes things not as complicated, you know, because I don't understand shit, you know. I know some facts, but in the grand scheme of things, you know, I'm not a fucking guy like that, you know. But, you know, I'm more philosophical about anything, really, you know, which isn't really science, is it? But, you know, I like to think about science stuff, because it's cool, you know. Doesn't mean I know shit, you know. So I can only really piece things together with reasoning when it comes to my thinking about the universe, you know. I think what sounds reasonable, you know. And that's not a good way to get the exact answer, you know. It's definitely, you know, it can be pretty nice to, like, you know, just reason your way through stuff, because, you know, it's neat. It kind of helps you figure out situations better, you know. Oh, fuck. That was close. Yeah, reasoning is great, but, you know, I don't know, you know. I honestly view the prefrontal fucking cortex as like a fucking survival tool used not to, you know, not only to be able to survive better, I guess, with like thought and stuff, but I feel like the reason human beings are able to overthink is because, you know, like, we can think up all these religious whatever the fucks to, you know, avoid thinking about the inevitable process of death, you know, and to focus on what is actually supposed to be focused on, which is, you know, like life, living, you know. You know, maybe it's not that deep. That sounds way too deep, you know. But, you know, maybe, like, I don't know, you know, maybe, you know, in my opinion, the true weakness that we have is just it's religion, and having to think up all these magical processes to, you know, feel okay, you know, while meanwhile other animals, you know, obviously, you know, it's kind of a gift and a curse, because other animals, they don't worry about that shit, and they're doing just fine, because, you know, they don't need to feel comfortable about the thought of death. When it happens, it just happens, you know, because that's how survival is, you know. You know, but we think about it a lot, you know, which I think is a big weakness, to be honest, because it's like, well, you know, it's a weakness and a strength, because, you know, at one point it encourages you to do more to keep yourself alive, but the others aren't, you know, you waste time thinking about things like religion and coming up with all these goofy ass concepts. Once again, this is my opinion. You know, fucking wasting so much time in a church, fucking praying to something that is a mystery, you know? And that's just my, you know, obviously, you know, I'm not going to go up to someone who's religious and disrespect them, but, you know, that's my opinion. God is kind of a waste of time compared to what we could be doing, you know? We spent, you know, less time in church and more time working on things that can actually get us farther in, you know, the technology and stuff. I don't know how it works, you know? You know. Just like religion, from my perspective, holds people back. Very much so. You know, it holds people so back, you know, from all the time, you know, that could be spent, you know, just thriving and growing as a civilization, you know, growing, advancing through the tech tree of what is possible, you know. Instead, we're advancing through the comfort tree of how to feel more comfortable, which is fair. Don't get me wrong, you know. But like at the same time, you know, like we spend hours in a church doing that instead of just like, you know, oh, there's God, that's okay, you know. Let me just now continue to, you know, be productive, you know, as a human being. Which I'm not saying people who are religious aren't productive, but, you know, so much time spent praying to be spent doing other stuff, you know, like, you know, evolving. I don't know. You know, anybody could break my point down and say, oh, well, you know, there's still enough time, you know, barely of our time is spent, you know, only Sundays, you know, only this time, or blah, 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 but, you know, it's like, without religion, I guarantee you, we'd be way further. You know, religion was good for getting things started, but, like, now it's useless, and it's something that's holding us back. Which, again, that's, yeah, you get it. You know, it's not, you know, for me, that's what the facts are. You know, without religion, things would be so much quicker, you know. We'd be so much farther, you know, and thinking about how to fucking thrive in the world, you know. People wouldn't be trying to fucking immortalize themselves by wasting their time, like, taking countries and shit. Instead, they'd just be becoming smarter and better and more capable. You know, but it's all religion, you know. You can blame religion on it all because, you know, think about it. You know, why would somebody do that for any other reason than to immortalize themselves or their nation, you know? It's just dumb, you know? Not important, you know? And it's important that people are dying or something, but, you know, not, you know, immortalizing something is the problem, you know? You know, immortalization is just such a weakness, you know? To immortalize oneself rather than accept the natural, way of life. It's just nonsense, It's just a big bologna sandwich, I hate immortalization. I hate immortalizing oneself, and putting in a constant effort to immortalize oneself. Once again, I'm not going to disrespect anybody who does so, but in my opinion, that is a very large waste of time, and you can just save so much energy thinking about it, just being like, people die, that's okay, I'm going to live my story up until the end, and, I myself struggle with these things, with immortalizing myself, feeling like I need things to make my existence feel longer, or like, more, immortal, if you will. But at the end of the day, like, fuck it, I'm just living my, I'm not perfect, nobody is, but, in a perfect world, there would be no religion anymore. Religion would be an outdated idea that was long in the past, and, somebody once asked me if there's a universal ethics without God. Well, I think, those things could just be, we could pick and choose what would be taken out of it, Principles probably end up where taken, There doesn't need to be, in my opinion, a whole religion, just principles, and that's really all you need. There can be a universal ethics, if religion was in the beginning and then it ended and didn't happen anymore, Oh, fuck. Shit. I'm getting my ass kicked right now. Dude, I'm just like, this is just slow, but this is why I like master mode, You can't just go through it. Some people are really, really good and can go through it in 50 seconds and probably shit all over me and humble me, but, it's okay because, I'm not trying to be like that, because that sounds really boring. But honestly, what I am going to do is just keep playing good, because this is just fun, nice and slow, fucking gibber jabber. Just a grand old experience, but this time it takes a long time because everything beats my ass. Making this over here because I like having one somewhere. Gonna go over here and then it just kind of goes away. Oh shit. But anyways, I had a pretty stressful time today, kind of blew off on everybody in group. I can't really say much because of Halo, but, it's just, I fucked up, had a fucking emotional little fucking meltdown. So just fucking, I don't know, shit's been just building up a lot recently. I'm just so tired of existence, So I just fucking, sometimes I just fucking blow the fuck up because I'm fucking fucked, Obviously that doesn't really justify it, it doesn't justify it at all, but, there is a cause, and that cause is my mental being right now, not being great at all, And that doesn't, doesn't make it any less my thing, I don't know, I obviously want to do better, but it's difficult because, I'm very reactionary, and that doesn't mean it's impossible, but, I mean, it's going to be this means it's going to be difficult, there's going to be bumps in the road, fucking pain in my ass, but, whatever, when has there not been, nothing has ever been convenient, even for a minute, you know. Everything has always been, you know, work as hard as I can until the next moment. But I mean, not really at the same time. You know, I do have time where I get to relax, and you know, I can be grateful for that, but, you know, like, you know, nothing is ever truly convenient, you know. And it always has to be at least a little bit of a pain in the ass, you know. Oh, come on. Oh my god, I got the green cap. Let's go. Oh, wait, put that on. Oopsies. Oops. Okay, wait, hold on now. There we go. 2 defense. Damn. Sick. I didn't know that had defense. That's crazy. Oh, shit! I don't think it used to have defense. Oh my god, dude. Just dying over and over again. Welcome to fucking expert mode. Sound like one of the zombies now. He did it right as I did it. That was crazy. Oh shit! He was like, this is how you do it. Yeah. Like this. Need to lead them away from the house. Oh fuck! Shut the door, shut the fucking door! Why?
What are you doing?
What?
What are you doing, Tim?
I'm streaming.
You on the phone?
Yeah, if you don't want to be heard through the microphone, you might want to, like, you know.
Oh, okay. Are you doing good?
Yeah.
Keep doing what you're doing. I'm just want to be sure you're doing good. We gotta watch that cow later.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Fuck it. We can do that now, if you want. Yeah. All right. Gotta go soon. I'm doing something really exciting. Damn.